Now let us discuss about the class Anthoceratopsida. The members of class Anthoceratopsida are commonly known as hornbirds. Okay, they are commonly known as hornbirds. They are named as hornbirds because the capsules produced in these bryophytes have horn-like structure. So because of horn-like structure of capsules in the members of Anthoceratopsida, they are commonly called as hornbirds. Example for members of Anthoceratopsida are Anthocerus nototylus. So these members have characteristic features similar to the members of Hepaticopsida. This class has not been mentioned in your text. Just note down why are they called as hornbirds and what are the examples of class Anthoceratopsida. Now let us discuss one more class under Bryophyta, that is class Bryopsida. The members of class Bryopsida are commonly called as mosses. They are commonly called as mosses and they are mainly found in damp areas. So you can see many such mosses, especially on the wet walls or the moist or damp walls, even on the compound walls or the walls of the well. So wherever there is moist condition, these Bryopsida members or mosses grow well. The dominant plant body of mosses is gametophyte. The dominant plant body is gametophyte, and remember that the gametophyte of mosses occur in two stages. The first stage is known as protonema and the second stage is known as leafy stage. The first stage is known as protonema, the second stage is known as leafy stage. So this protonema stage develops directly from the spore. The haploid spores develop into a protonema stage, that is the first stage of gametophyte. This protonema stage mainly have green filamentous horizontally growing structure. Okay, they have green filamentous horizontally growing creeping structures. Green creeping horizontally growing branched filaments or filamentous body. Okay, filamentous plant body. And from these green creeping branched filamentous protonema stage, certain buds arise and these buds again grow vertically or upright. They grow vertically or upright axis. Okay? So from this protonema stage, buds arise. These buds grow vertically upwards. They grow erect or upright and have an axis. Around this axis there are many small leaf-like appendages which are arranged spirally. They have spirally arranged small leaves. Spirally arranged small leaves. Okay? So this is the leafy stage. And remember that the leafy stage mainly bears the sex organs. Leafy stage bears the sex organs. You know that the sex organs of bryophytes are antheridium and archegonium. And antheridium is a male sex organ, archegonium is a female sex organ. So on the branches of the leafy stage, male and female sex organs are formed in different branches. Okay, there are certain mosses where both the sex organs are formed in the same plant body. There are certain mosses where the sex organs may be formed in different plant body. So if the sex organs are formed in the same plant body, then the sex organs are formed at the tip of different branches. So in one of the branch, male sex organ antheridium is formed. In another branch, female sex organ archegonium is formed. And you know that the gametes formed in antheridium is antherozoid. Antherozoid is a male gamete. And the gamete formed inside the archegonium, that is the female gamete, is egg cell. And you know that in case of bryophytes, the male gametes, that is antherozoids, are released from the antheridium. They reach the mouth of the archegonium and then enters into the archegonium and fuse with the fuse with the egg cell or the female gamete to form zygote. Okay. So during sexual reproduction, the male and female gametes that are formed in the male and female sex organs, they fuse together, especially inside the archegonium. The antherozoids reaches and fuses with the egg cell to form zygote. Okay. Zygote then develops into a new plant body known as sporophyte. Okay. Zygote develops into a new plant body known as sporophyte, and sporophyte is diploid. Sporophyte is diploid. Okay? And you have to remember that the sporophyte that is formed is always found on the gametophyte. Sporophyte plant body is not a free living plant body. It is found on or attached to the gametophyte and it derives nutrition from the gametophyte. Remember that in case of bryophytes, the sporophytes formed are not free living. They are found attached to the gametophyte. They derive nutrition from the gametophyte. Okay. So we will see one such example or one such moss which is commonly called as Funaria. Funaria. You might have seen such a moss, especially on damp walls, especially on compound walls. You will come across these mosses known as Funaria. So here, this is the gametophytic plant body. The leaf, it represents the leafy stage of gametophytic plant body. Leafy stage of gametophytic plant body. And you know that on the tip of the leafy stage there will be sex organ, and the sex organ produces male and female gametes. The gametes fuse together to form the zygote, and zygote develops into a new plant body known as sporophyte. So this plant body is the sporophyte. Okay. Sporophyte is usually differentiated into three distinct parts. They are food, seta and capsule. Food, seta and capsule. It is inside this capsule there are certain diploid cells. We call them as spore mother cells. Inside the capsule there are certain diploid cells known as spore mother cells. These spore mother cells undergo meiotic division or reductional division to form haploid spores. The haploid spores are released whenever the capsules burst open. The capsules will burst open, the haploid spores are released, the haploid spores fall on a suitable substratum and again develop into a gametophyte. Okay. So here the gametophyte plant body and sporophyte plant body always occur alternate to each other. That's why bryophytes or mosses exhibit alternation of generation. Okay, they exhibit alternation of generation. So some of the examples for mosses are Funaria, Polytrichum, Sphagnum are the examples for mosses. Funaria, Polytrichum, Sphagnum are some of the examples for mosses. So next, let us discuss about the economic importance of bryophytes. Okay. So bryophytes have less economic importance. Okay. So these bryophytes mainly contribute to plant succession, especially on bare rocks. So these bryophytes grow like mats on the bare rocks, and then they help in breakdown of rocks, and breaking down of rocks mainly leads to the formation of soil. So since soil is formed, it can form a substratum for the growth of other plants or higher plants. So that's why the bryophytes mainly contribute to plant succession on bare rocks. And these mosses, in association with lichens, they usually colonize on rocks. As I mentioned earlier, the mosses along with the lichens, they colonize on the rocks, means they grow in colonies on rocks. They break down the rocks to form soil particles, and these soil particles can sustain any other higher plants. In this way, there is plant succession seen on barren rocks or bare area. Okay, barren rocks or bare area. Next, as I told, mosses can help in breakdown of rocks to form the soil. So they also help in formation of soil. And mosses, since they grow as mats, thick mats on the surface of soil, they mainly prevent soil erosion. Okay, mosses prevent soil erosion because they grow as thick mats on the surface of soil. Then they provide food mainly for herbaceous birds, animals or mammals. Okay. Mosses represent or bryophytes represent or bryophytes provide food for herbaceous birds as well as animals including the mammals. And there are some of the bryophytes, especially the mosses like sphagnum. Sphagnum, they provide peat. So peat is the deposition of sphagnum. Partial decomposition or deposition of sphagnum forms peat after many years. Okay. So this peat has various uses. Some of the uses of peat are they are used as fuel. They are for longer time they were used as fuel, and some of the and peat, since it has the ability or capacity to hold the water, this peat is mainly used for packaging or for transshipment of plant materials or even the plant cuttings. Okay, since peat has the ability or capacity to hold water, they are the water holding substances, so they are mainly used for packaging or for transshipment of plant materials or plant cuttings. Okay, and peat is added to soil. You might have seen in some gardening they usually add peat. Peat is mainly added to soil, mainly to increase the fertility of soil. Okay. Even during crop cultivation or gardening, they mainly mix peat with the soil such that the fertility of the soil increases. So these are some of the economic importance of bryophytes. So in the next session, let us discuss about one more division under kingdom Plantae, that is division Pteridophyta.